right, we're gonna dive into this love connection. What do you need to know right now? It's actually coming through something that you need to know about this person. So we're going to kind of focus on your person at this time. King of Swords. Okay. The Empress. Interesting. Wow. This is actually a really beautiful dynamic here. This is a really fine balance of masculine and feminine energies. What's so interesting about this is that to be in the Empress energy, you have to know this King of Swords. It's kind of like you have to know the type of masculine, the masculine within yourself that is very action oriented. It's like you are able to recognize one another because of who you are internally. Now, this is like really interesting because this person's energy is so grounded compared to yours. Like you are very up in the air, very in your feelings, very in your feminine energy. And this masculine is so grounded. What's really interesting about this that's coming through is that as children, you almost had swapped places. Like as a child, this person was more like you. And you as a child, you were more like this person. That's interesting that this is coming through. It's almost as if like this person is currently going through whatever you went through as a child. And you are coming back to this childlike innocence within yourself that this person was able to have. Interesting. Your weight was given to you as a child. This person's weight was given to them as an adult. Wow. Divine Spirit, can you clarify the significance of this? The Emperor. This is like really powerful energy coming through right now. I wasn't expecting. Whoa. Oh my God. Okay. So we have the Emperor, the Queen of Wands, the Lovers, and the Seven of Swords. Someone has made up their mind about you. There is somebody who is either in the process of making up their mind or has already made up their mind about you. Like there's like a higher calling. There's something greater pulling this person towards you right now. And it could have something to do with your emotional state of being or like your vulnerability at this time. It's almost as if like they want to come forward to you to provide safety. Like they're concerned for your safety for some reason. And with the Lovers card here, there's something quite different about this love. There's something quite different about your love to this person. It's like they don't know what to do with it yet. They're not quite sure how to handle it, but with the Seven of Swords, they know there's someone in your energy who does know how to mishandle it, that's for sure. So that's coming through as well. So there could be somebody in your past at this time. Divine Spirit. What do we need to know about all of this coming together? I can't believe the Lovers showed up. Judgment and the Magician. You both deserve this. I'm hearing you both deserve a break in love. Like you both deserve to be heard in love. You both deserve to experience a love that is in support of like your healing. Both of you, actually. And I'm hearing like both of you have the power to heal each other through this love connection. And I'm also hearing the saying, nothing is too lost that it cannot be found. You're going to be finding a new version of yourself through this love with this person. Very, very, very soft version of yourself is what's coming through. It feels as if like everything is just releasing, like you're letting go of so much in connection to this person. And it's not even something that they're necessarily doing. It's just a space. It's like I can see the string of connection between the two of you. And in that space in between, like even when there's distance, there's so much being released, so much being let go of. And the more that is released, the more is let go of, like the closer and closer and closer you come to one another until all that's left is this love connection. And this inner knowing that this is what it is meant to be, that you are meant to be together. There's a little bit of a journey here. taking place right now. So you're in this with this person, whether you see it physically or not. They are not your concern. You are meant to be theirs. That's really significant here. It's like roles are reversed. You are meant to be their concern, not the other way around. So keep that in mind. Do not spend too much time thinking about this person, about this connection. You are meant to be your concern at this time too. And this person is going to be in support. Like healing you, helping to heal you is going to heal this person. It's going to give them a sense of purpose and direction that they didn't have before. And it's funny because I wanted to dismiss the song that was coming through earlier, which was from the Beauty and the Beast. And it's like, I think there's something there that wasn't there before. And that's what this person is experiencing right now. But you're just meant to exist as Princess Belle. So take it as it resonates, leave whatever doesn't. If you feel called to dive into your personal love connection, readings are available through my website if you click the link in my bio. Dear soul, if you feel something stirring in your heart right now, don't ignore it. This moment is not an accident. Before you leave, pause for just a moment and speak these words over your life with faith. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God is writing a beautiful story through my life, and his promises for me will not fail. Say it again, slowly. Let every word sink into the places where fear once lived. Let it heal the parts of your heart that have carried disappointment, rejection, and unanswered prayers. Even if you can't see the whole picture today, God can. He has never lost sight of you, nor a single moment. Carry this truth with you when life feels uncertain. Carry it when the waiting feels long. Carry it when your faith is being tested. The same God who brought you this message is still working behind the scenes, opening doors you cannot yet see and preparing blessings that no one can take away. If this message brought peace to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who may be crying in silence, someone who feels forgotten, someone who is holding on by a thread. Your share could become the answer to a prayer they whispered when no one else was listening. You never know whose life God may touch through your simple act of kindness. And if the Holy Spirit places it on your heart to support this ministry through a super thanks, please know that every gift, whether it's $5, $10, $20, or any amount God leads you to give, is received with deep, deep gratitude. Your generosity helps these messages of hope, faith, and God's unfailing love reach hearts across the world that desperately need encouragement. May the Lord bless you beyond anything you could imagine. May he restore every broken place, wipe away every hidden tear, strengthen your faith when you feel weak, and open doors no one can shut. May your kindness return to you multiplied, and may you one day look back on this very moment and realize that it was the beginning of everything God had promised. Thank you for being part of this family of faith. Together, we are reminding the world that God's love never fails. His timing is always perfect, and no soul who trusts in him is ever forgotten. Some people enter your life like a storm. They arrive loudly, changing everything in a matter of moments. Others arrive like the sunrise. You hardly notice them at first, yet, little by little, they warm the places inside you that had forgotten what peace feels like. Some connections cannot be explained by how long you have known someone or how many conversations you have shared. They feel familiar for reasons your heart understands long before your mind ever does. Perhaps you have experienced that feeling yourself. You meet someone and nothing extraordinary happens on the surface. There are no fireworks, no dramatic confessions, no perfect timing. Yet something inside you quietly whispers that this person is different. It is not because they complete you. It is because they awaken a part of you that has been asleep for a very long time. Sometimes two people are completely different on the outside. One carries their emotions openly, wearing their heart where everyone can see it. They laugh freely, cry honestly, and feel everything deeply. The other seems steady, composed, almost impossible to read. They think before they speak. They act before they explain. Their strength looks effortless, even though it was built from years of learning how to survive. From a distance, they almost seem like opposites. But life has a strange way of bringing opposite souls together, not to erase their differences, but to reveal why those differences matter. The gentle one teaches the strong how to feel again. The strong one teaches the gentle that feeling safe is not weakness, neither realizes they are doing it. It simply happens. If you have ever wondered why some people leave such a lasting mark on your heart, perhaps it is because they carry something you have been searching for without even knowing it. Their story did not begin the day they met. It began years earlier. As children, they walked very different roads. One learned responsibility before learning how to dream. They grew up believing they always had to be prepared, always had to stay in control. Smiles became smaller, worries became bigger. Even as a child, life seemed to ask them to grow up too quickly. The other carried a different burden. They learned to protect their heart in quieter ways. They became sensitive to every change in someone's voice, every silence, every disappointment. They discovered that love could sometimes feel uncertain, and they carried that uncertainty into adulthood without realizing it. Neither childhood was easy. Neither heart escaped untouched. But pain has an unusual habit. It teaches different lessons to different people. One learns how to build walls. The other learns how to hide tears. Years pass. They become adults, believing they have figured life out. They wear confidence like armor. They smile when people expect them to smile. They keep moving because standing still would mean facing everything they have tried to outrun. Then one ordinary day, their paths cross. Nothing seems unusual, yet something changes. It is almost impossible to describe. It feels less like meeting someone new and more like remembering someone you somehow forgot. Not because destiny has written every chapter in advance, but because certain people reflect parts of ourselves we have never fully understood. One conversation becomes another. Small moments begin collecting quietly. Shared laughter, comfortable silence. Simple questions that somehow feel deeper than they should. Without realizing it, both hearts begin lowering their defenses. Not completely. Just enough. Sometimes healing does not begin with advice. Sometimes it begins with finally feeling safe enough to breathe. There is something beautiful about being around someone who does not ask you to become someone else. Someone who never tells you to be less emotional. Someone who never tells you to be stronger than you already are. Instead, they simply make space for who you have always been. That kind of acceptance changes people. Slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. Yet even beautiful connections carry fear. Because when something truly matters, losing it suddenly becomes terrifying. The logical one begins questioning feelings they never planned to have. The emotional one begins wondering whether opening their heart again is wise. Love has a way of asking difficult questions before it offers peaceful answers. Then life becomes complicated. Old memories begin returning, not because the past wants to hurt them again, because healing often asks to revisit the places where we first learned to protect ourselves. A painful memory appears, a disappointment resurfaces. A relationship that once stole confidence suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. It feels unfair. Just when happiness begins to feel possible, yesterday knocks on day-ass door today. But perhaps that is exactly how healing works. Not by pretending old wounds never existed. By realizing they no longer control who we become. You need to hear this. Your past may explain your fears, but it does not have the authority to decide your future. That realization does not arrive all at once. It comes quietly. Like rain falling during the middle of the night. You wake up one morning and discover something unexpected. The memories still existed. They just don't hurt the same way anymore. Then everything shifts. Not because someone suddenly says all the right words, because both people begin changing from within. The one who always carried the weight of responsibility starts allowing themselves to feel vulnerable. The one who constantly worried about being enough begins believing they already are. Growth rarely announces itself. It simply appears one day in the smallest moments. A calmer heartbeat. A calmer heartbeat. A softer smile. A conversation that no longer feels frightening. The courage to believe that love should never require abandoning yourself. Then comes a moment neither of them expected. They stop trying to fix each other. Instead, they begin accepting each other. That changes everything. Because love is not built by repairing broken people. It is built by two people choosing honesty over perfection. Here is one of life's deepest truths. The healthiest relationships are not formed by people who have never been hurt. They are formed by people who decide their pain will not become someone else's burden. Think about that for a moment. What if healing is not about forgetting every scar? What if healing is learning that your scars no longer speak louder than your heart? That realization changes the direction of an entire life. There are still difficult days. Of course there are. No meaningful relationship grows without uncertainty. There are moments when silence feels heavy. Moments when old fears whisper familiar lies. Moments when doubt quietly asks whether happiness can really last. Then something unexpected happens. The person you thought would always rescue you simply reminds you that you were stronger than you believed all along. Everything changes after that. Because strength shared is very different from strength borrowed. One creates dependence. The other creates freedom. Little by little, they begin discovering who they are becoming together, not by losing themselves inside the relationship, by becoming more themselves because of it. The emotional one laughs more freely. The quiet one speaks more openly. Both begin trusting life again. It is almost as though every painful chapter prepared them to appreciate peace when it finally arrived, and then another unexpected truth quietly settles into their hearts. The greatest gift was never finding someone who understood every broken piece. It was learning they no longer had to hide those broken pieces to deserve love. If you have been carrying invisible weight for years, let this stay with you. You do not have to earn the right to be loved by becoming someone else. You are worthy of kindness even while you are still healing. That is something many people spend their entire lives trying to believe. As time moves forward, they notice something beautiful. Conversations become easier. Laughter becomes lighter. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels peaceful. There is no need to impress each other anymore. No need to perform. No need to pretend everything is perfect. Real love rarely looks dramatic every single day. More often, it looks like choosing patience when frustration would be easier. It looks like listening before judging. It looks like staying gentle in a world that constantly rewards hardness. Perhaps that is what makes certain relationships unforgettable. Not because they remove every challenge, because they remind us who we become when we finally stop fighting ourselves. The journey that once began with uncertainty slowly transforms into something neither person expected. Not perfection. Peace. And peace is far more valuable because peace allows love to breathe. As they look back on everything they survived, they realize the hardest seasons were never meaningless. Every disappointment taught compassion. Every goodbye taught gratitude. Every lonely night quietly prepared them to recognize genuine connection when it appeared. Life rarely reveals its reasons immediately. Sometimes understanding arrives years after the pain. Yet when it does, the heart finally wistfully rests. Maybe that is where this story truly ends. Not with promises, not with guarantees, but with hope. The kind of hope that grows when two imperfect people stop asking whether they are enough and begin believing they always were. And perhaps that is the quiet miracle hidden inside every meaningful connection. It does not change your past. It changes the way you carry it. Once that happens, your heart is no longer searching for someone to complete it. It is simply grateful to walk beside someone while remaining completely, beautifully, and honestly yourself.